Morning. I was going down ready to get my breakfast like I've been doing every morning since we got here basically, except for the first morning when I got up at 9, which was really weird. Anyway, and I was coming here for breakfast and I realized there's no one. It's very quiet and eerie and the doors to the breakfast room are closed. And I was wondering what the hell. And then I remembered it's Saturday. On Saturdays, the breakfast room opens at 7:30, and it's only 6:40. I have to wait 15 minutes. Hopefully no one minds. I'm just gonna sit here. No point in going back to the room. Mom is asleep, so I'm just gonna read and be quiet and wait to get my breakfast.
Well, there's probably many reasons, but one which I would like to point out is the autonomy of the teacher. As a teacher, I have the rules, the guidelines given to me, but inside those guidelines, I can roam rather freely, and I am trusted by my school. I don't have to prove to anyone that I'm doing a proper job because it's sort of inside the system that I'm trusted to do that. Another thing, which is also a curse, it's a good thing and it's a curse at the same time, it's a rather low authority gap between teachers and students. So we get quite close so that we're not scared, or we teachers are not scary, but that sometimes is also a negative point when we have to wrestle with your authority things. As I say, it comes from respect, from mutual respect from one another. So when I genuinely am interested in my students' lives, and I'm genuinely interested that what I teach has a valid point in their lives, then I can make that sort of stuff in the class that makes it interesting, and that makes them keen on the things that I want to teach them.
Make art is that if you look at the contemporary writing about people who make art in any period, then there'll be women there. And very often in earlier periods where diverse sexualities were okay, the sexualities of people will be mentioned at the time when you look at it. And they'll say, the top 6 people working at the moment, and one will be a woman. They'll say the 20 people you need to pay attention to, and 3 or 4 of them will be women. This is sort of going back to like the Romans, and certainly in the Renaissance, where we've got a lot of
broadcast. And I was initially, I think, caught by how different it was as a TV show. The things they did, like the musical episode or the episode where nobody says anything. And these were not just gimmicks, which they could very easily have been. It would have been very easy to make a musical episode as a gimmick, which several other series have done since. So I think what really got me to go back and watch it all the way through was not just the characters and the story, the fact it was doing interesting things with television. And I think that's part of its legacy, was it showed that television could do new things in a way that was not just a cheap gimmick.
As you can see, we have our finalists. Our finalist is here. I'm tired. Yes, so we took a chance of, or we took a shot at. Right.
Stop rebellion and kind of relating to games we hate, games we love, and games that are just boring. Is how important is theme to a Euro game? Because surely the definition of a Euro game is the mechanisms behind it are the style of the show. So does theme matter?
Theme matters to a certain extent. If it has terrible mechanics, the theme will not save it. But if it has decent mechanics and a good, well-implemented theme, that's what I'm looking for. Very rarely will I like a game, an abstract game with a pasted-on theme.
And he goes out there and he comes by and he says, well, his name is Spike. I said, I can't call this cat Spike, and in any case, no one calls her kid Spike either. You find out what that offender's name is. And so he came back the next day and go, hey, you wouldn't guess what that guy's name is. It's Laverne. No one even wanted to be called Spike. So this is Laverne with an E, and that's my cat. From where I work. And people were like feeding her like little tidbits and bringing her milk, and we had a couple of women from the correctional facility who work at our office during the day, and they even donated some of their state-issued milk from their lunches to help feed this kid. And so I went home and I told this is my second husband now, I only have two. So I came home and we were having supper, and I was telling him about this cat at work, and I said, so at this time of day, either if the cat has a home, she'd be home and she wouldn't be in the parking lot anymore, but if she doesn't have a home, she might still be there. And we got done eating, and I'm like, okay. And my husband's like, okay. I said, okay, we're going to find out if she's there. Because if she's there, then she doesn't have a home. So we went back to work, and she was hanging out in the parking lot. She came right out of the bush, and she's like very, very shy. No, she wasn't shy. So we got her. And I let my husband name her, and his father was born in Napoli, so he named her Piccola, which means little dear one. Okay, so really quickly, here is
just have fruit jam. You've got lily pilly jam. Now, the lily pilly is a really beautiful big tree, but it hasn't ever grown in Europe. You don't just have lime marmalade. You all know lime marmalade? Think of lime marmalade you might not have come across. These taste different, but they're actually citrus still. Other things aren't. I've bought bush tomato relish. Bush tomatoes are not related to tomatoes in any way, shape or form, but they taste a bit like tomatoes. And so we call them bush tomatoes. And the other one I brought was rainforest plums. So they're fresh plums, not related to European plums at all. They're a small fruit that look rather like plums and taste like very savoury plums. And so when you eat a jam made with these plums, it's not a jam from this universe. Does that make sense? It's a little change. It's people like us doing different things. And that's what I do. It's called cheating.
He made a great success in the world of art. I think he was involved in other things. It's something J.R.R. Tolkien did in 1926. Long before he thought about smoke, but certainly he'd been thinking about dragons for a very long time. I'll tell a little tiny anecdote about Tolkien later on. But as you all know, dragons have played quite a large role in modern
How many of you in this room believe in the possibility of faster than light travel? Excellent. I am very impressed for a science fiction group, the amount of skepticism I see in this room. With a very small number of hands going up faster than light travel. is quite impressive. By the best physics we know, faster than light travel is not impossible. But there are no physics that we know that tell us how to do it. And by the physics we know, it would have very bizarre consequences. Because according to Einstein's theory of relativity, space and time are not two separate things. They are one thing. The barrier between the past and the future is the speed of light. If you can go faster than the speed of light, there is no reason you cannot travel into the past. And if you can do that, physics becomes bizarre. It is strange. You can't do physics anymore if you can't tell which is the cause and which is the effect, because it can come in any order.
Involving dynamite. Now, I've never been to one of these, which means I'm not constrained by the truth. But as Jordan tells the story, he remembered as a kid when you used to be able to buy tennis balls in a tin can that came three tennis balls to a can, and in those days the tin cans were made of metal. So after you emptied out the tin can, you had these tennis balls, you had this metal tube. You would take a firecracker, toss it, light it, toss it in the bottom of the tube, and then put in a tennis ball. And you had your own little portable mortar. So the firecracker would go boom, the tennis ball would go flying. Every kid knew it doesn't work anymore. They make the tubes out of plastic, and it just sort of expands when it gets, nothing happens. Rotten people. Anyway, there is this gizmo that construction people use as a form for concrete pillars called a sonotube. Imagine, if you will, a sonotube, which is a large, sort of very, very heavy cardboard, I'm not quite sure what they made on a tube, with the inner diameter about the size of a bowling ball. Did I mention the dynamite? You can see where this is going. Someone had the bright idea. What if they set up the sonotube, they put in the stick of dynamite, they dropped down the bowling ball, it worked like a charm. Phenomenally high up into the air, and now, of course, it's coming back down. What they remembered was, of course, not to stand under where it's going. They're not meant for it. What was an unexpected feature was that, as you may know, every bowling ball has 3 holes in it. So as it came down, it would begin to whistle. Nothing wrong in the lab, but just a really cool, unexpected scientific event.
Credit project, I had to design my choice was to design a early English castle or fortification. It's mainly made out of wood, and so I decided to use kind of a dough for the mound, and I was using matchsticks to make the ramparts of this fort. Of course, I was procrastinating, so this was very, very late at night, and I didn't have parental supervision. And you couldn't buy just the matchsticks, you could only buy the matches, the wooden matches. And so I had some wire cutters to just cut off the match heads. And at the very end, I had this beautiful fortification and a bowl of match heads. And I thought it would be really cool to see just the little fire that would create. Apparently, I had the unconscious foresight that it was probably a good idea to go outside to do this. And I was very glad that I did. I did not have the foresight to not be holding it in my hand. So, holding it in my hands, I remember touching it with a match, and a flame very much like the thrust coming out of the Soyuz rocket that reaching up past my face. And immediately I dropped it, and I was like, whoa. And then I kind of reached up and brushed my face off, and I had a lot of gray stuff in my hands, and I thought, wow, that's weird. And then the smell of burnt hair wafted over. I ran upstairs. Thankfully, I did not burn my face, but I ran upstairs, hopped in the shower, and after the shower was greeted with a few blackening eyebrows and the front part of my hair. So in the morning, though, it was the smell of burnt hair that had alerted my parents.
I'm back. A little bit earlier than usual, a lot earlier than usual, actually. There was a panel I might have liked to go to at 6 o'clock, but then I decided, nah. Mom is still at the convention. She had stuff to do, possibly until at least 7 o'clock. So she'll be back in a little while. Tomorrow is definitely going to be a shorter day, so I don't know what we're going to do with the rest of the evening, because we both end our last panel, the last thing that we want to do at about 4 o'clock. At least I end at 4 o'clock. I don't know about Mom, but I think it's the same. Bye!